Greetings from the Medicine Cabinet. It's Chill Pill here, and it's time for another EP vlog since I have released an EP recently called Secret Path EP, which I'm really excited about showing you guys because it was a lot of experimentation and I took a lot of directions that I haven't gone before in my music, and so it was fun to make and it was fun to release, and I'm excited to show it to you guys. I would just like to reiterate that before we start this EP vlog, that I'm actually going to be really busy and I can no longer promise videos every single week, but I really want to keep doing these periodically and hopefully often, and still get videos out to you guys so that you will be able to enjoy them. So this one's going to be an overview of Secret Path EP, which I recently released. And it was kind of an accidental endeavor. It was the failed attempt of making a full-length album. And I had a plan for it, and I had genres planned out for each song. And I even had a couple vocalists planned that were going to help me with it. And the plan was it was going to be released on Expanse Records as kind of a follow-up to Right There. But my plans changed a little bit when 3 of the songs were sent to Expanse and they were rejected because they had mixing issues, mastering issues, and just creative issues overall. So as a result of that, I just decided to release those songs along with a project I was already working on as a single, and put them all together into an EP, and a self-released EP at that, which kind of turned my plans for an album around, but I'm glad with the result anyway. And I'd just like to put out there, now that I'm talking about Expanse, with the rise of some of their explicit songs on the label recently, I actually decided to stop releasing songs on Expanse and start to look for maybe some new record labels that don't have explicit songs on there, because that's a big deal to me as an artist. And I may even just keep self-releasing, but if you guys have any suggestions for any record labels that do not release any songs that have any trace of bad content in them, then feel free to leave a comment down there and suggest something to me. I still support Expanse in all of their endeavors, and I am still subscribed to them, still listen to their music, and I am definitely a sideline supporter. So that being said, let's move on to the actual EP vlog. Secret Path, the EP name, was an accidental string, an accidental commonality between all 4 songs. All 4 song titles, to be specific. I actually just titled these songs based on what they sounded like, or in the case of Backtracker, I titled it based off of the lyrics. But it was a common string between these songs that was a complete accident. Backtracker was talking about, on the surface, it looks like it's talking about walking backwards to kind of regain your steps. And Alligator Swamp seemed like, and the Catacombs both seemed like areas that you had to pass through to finally get to your destination, whether it's a spiritual journey or a mental journey or a physical journey. And Home seemed to capture the idea of this final destination that you have at the end of your journey. Moving on to the specific songs, the first one, Backtracker, all of the lyrics were actually symbolic of, or it was actually talking about in kind of a vague way how I handle media, and how sometimes I swamp myself a little bit with too many videos every week, or I stress sometimes about not having any videos for a week and having to say, sorry, I don't have any videos for the week, and then seem really lazy. Sometimes I have little tiny fears like that. And these all play into this concept of just taking it back and thinking, whoa, where do I want to go with this? And how should I plan this out? And so that's sort of what the lyrics to Backtracker were talking about. And as for the production side of things, I thought these vocals, these lyrics, seemed like they could work really well with a pretty chill-pillish indie dance track. Kind of like Stance and Heart to Heart. There was definitely a style to each of my indie dance tracks, and I thought it would go well with the vocals and the lyrics. And as for the weird lo-fi-ish side of the vocals, I decided to have a little bit of experiment with that, as I've heard from synthwave tracks and whatnot, them having vocoded vocals, and vocals that sounded a little bit robotic and not quite human, and so that's kind of what I wanted to capture with Backtracker, and it was definitely an experiment. Moving on to Alligator Swamp. This was a very interesting one that I was just planning to label as electronic. This was one where I was going to go in and I was just going to make music. I didn't have a genre in mind or anything. I was just going to go in and make something without a genre in mind, and so it ended up that I was doing crazy things with the sub bass, and the way that it sidechained with the kick, it was so unique to me and my style that I thought I totally need to keep on with this. And it kind of sounded like Swamp, which is where I got Alligator Swamp from. I got the swamp part of Alligator Swamp from that. I got the alligator part from the fact that I put in an alligator sample, just alligator, in the middle of the song. I wanted this to be kind of a sillier song, and that alligator sample was actually from a Family Feud episode way back, in which the host asked the contestant to name an animal with 3 letters in its name, and the guy blurts out, alligator. This is right after actually a contestant said frog. So it was absolutely ridiculous that alligator was the first thing that came to mind when he was asked for an animal with 3 letters in his name. But there was really no meaning to that except to kind of add silliness to the song, since it wasn't quite funky, but it was just an interesting kind of weird and funny kind of song that I was planning to make. And I also have to give big thanks to a friend of mine named Sarah Stoltzfus, who graciously decided to sing a scale, and so that I could use it for a vocal chop that I used in Alligator Swamp, and she did a great job with that, and I was able to add a little bit more to the song besides just instruments and that weird alligator sample. I think that brought the track full circle at the end of the day, and I think I came out with a track that I enjoy listening to. Alright, moving on to the third track, which is The Catacombs. This was specifically going to be a synthwave transition on my album, but it's definitely supposed to be dark. It's supposed to be kind of a break from all the happiness and silliness that was Backtracker and Alligator Swamp, and kind of take you more into a serious tone, which would be the serious part of the adventure in a sense. And so The Catacombs was kind of what was the song title that was intended to take the song and put it into a little bit of a creepier setting, but at the same time give it a lot more of an atmosphere, as much as a song title can give a song. And then I finish off with my fourth track, Home. And this was actually the only one that was not sent to Expanse, because I had already decided by the time I was maybe 70% through the production of this song that I decided not to submit this to Expanse, because I thought these would work really well as an EP, and so I finished this track with that in mind. But it was actually a specific return to happy hardcore, which I tried out way back early in my career on Just Take the Ice Cream EP with my song Blood Orange, and I wouldn't say that it was new because I had already done it before, but actually it was kind of new because I had been thinking about other happy hardcore tracks, and I'm a huge Stonebank fan, and so his hardcore tracks very much influenced this song, but also listening to a lot more of happy hardcore from artists like Darren Styles and a little bit of Gammer and Nanobi. I saw a trend in the structure of happy hardcore and in the synths that they used. Home was meant to be a very nostalgic but still happy kind of hardcore song, and it was supposed to bring the EP full circle and to end off the EP on a good note. That was Secret Path EP, and I hope you guys enjoyed the EP, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little behind the scenes take on the EP. And again, I'm hoping to bring out a lot more new content to you guys, and I'm actually working on a couple of music projects that I'm excited about, and I hope you guys enjoy what I have coming for you next, and I will see you on the shelves. Chill Pill out.